Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast, episode 189. I'm your host, Nathan. I'm joined by the man himself, Matthew Neves, to my left.
Thank you. Thank you.
And today we are going to be arguing. We're
Fuck.
gonna, we are going to be doing a franchises
Yeah.
tier list. So we've taken some movie franchises we've both probably talked about most of these briefly,
Yeah.
and we're going to pin them up against each other
Hmm.
and see where we'd rank them. The way I want to look at this is like more so like the IP as a whole. How has this IP been
Yeah.
treated?
Hmm.
More good entries than bad, more bad entries than good,
Right.
etc.
I think that's a great way to handle it because we could go all day on being like, well, Godfather's the best one and stuff. But like, let's be
Right.
honest, like we're talking consistency and quality overall. You got some good picks here, and I feel like we're gonna fight on a few of them. So let's just get let's just get right into it. That's what tier lists are for. We just go right into this shit.
Right into the shit. We're starting off with Shrek.
Shrek, wow. The new
Interesting
one's
first.
coming out.
Yeah.
Wow, looks just like the other ones, huh?
Looks crazy,
Yep.
but the Shrek franchise has spawned a spin-off.
Are we counting Puss in Boots too?
I think it's a
Might as well.
spin-off, so
Might
it's
as
like
well.
kind of part of the franchise,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. We'll do Puss in Boots then. So yeah, it spawned the Puss in Boots movies. The second one was amazing. First Shrek is iconic.
Yeah.
Sequel, fucking amazing. Then they made some other ones,
Then they made more.
and they made more. What do you think about it overall as a whole?
See, 1 and 2 are so strong, right? So
It's like a
I
Godfather thing, though.
yeah.
You know,
But there's more. Yeah.
or like I'm Shrek the Third. Wow. I'd put A. A
Right?
seems
A,
like
right?
A seems like a respectable position for Shrek,
Yeah.
despite 3 and 4 being, you know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah, a little but then the Puss in Boots movies kind of made up for that.
Mhm.
The both of them are pretty well received.
Yeah,
So then when you look at it as a whole, it's like 4 good movies in the franchise.
and they've been going still since 2000. Like,
Right.
I'll give credit there too, Next up, we got our fan favorite, Saw. I mean, like, look, I don't think Shrek 2 is better than all the Saw movies, in my opinion, from a
100%.
writing standpoint, quality, but have I had more fun with more Saw films than
Oh,
Shrek
yeah.
films? Yeah, because of quantity.
Yeah.
You know?
Saw is just like great, like peak dog shit.
Yes, it really is peak dog shit. It is the horror equivalent of that because you get to see a new one, you get to see like, obviously, they're so bad that they're good at times,
Yeah.
and then sometimes they're so bad they're bad.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, I wanna be respectful enough. I wanna put it in B at least. I don't think it's Shrek quality.
No, it's not A. I was even thinking like
C?
it's high C comparing to what we have on this list.
Mhm.
Cause like
I'm
how
looking
many
at
do
this
you really love
list.
and want to go rewatch that much? It's
3 or 4?
it's
Yeah, I
less than
get it. It's less
50%.
than 50. They
And for
made
that
10.
reason, I think it's C.
Alright, we'll put C. Sorry, Saw. I mean, this is what you get for canceling the 11th one.
Yeah.
You fuck. I'm never gonna live that down. Oh wow, Michael Bay's Transformers. You're going right off the bat with that one. I love this.
Transformers as a whole. I obviously had to pick one photo for this, but Transformers IP as a whole.
Like, we're starting from the 80s as well with the iconic animated movie.
Yeah, I guess you can include the animated,
Okay.
and then you can also include Transformers 1, which just came out.
Okay. In that case, I would treat it the same quality of IP as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles films, where they've had some ups, they've had some downs. Not as many ups as I want them to be honest with you, because of how the lore is really good
Yeah.
in both of them.
Mhm.
But most recently, the Transformers One was great. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem
We love that. We
was
had a lot
great.
of fun with that.
Yeah, and those are the newest installments so far. So I feel like they're going into a better future than when they started out with,
Right.
because they are both IPs that just became they were commercials, and then they just so happen to be shows
Yeah.
and movies and stuff. So I think it would be fair to give it C tier.
Yeah.
As much as you get nostalgia for the Bay films, like, they're too fucking long.
I just think like a big reason for us putting it C is like the potential that still has not been realized.
Yeah.
We know Transformers, we know the lore, and there's potential
Mhm.
to do this right. It's one of
Yeah.
the most interesting IPs on this list.
Yeah. And I will another reason I'm putting it C tier is because they managed to fuck up Unicron not
Right.
once but twice.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
All
slap in
right?
the face,
What
right?
the fuck? Remember? Fuck, man. That's my favorite character within the Transformers, Unicron, the fucking devil.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you're going for the big guns already. Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
I see Batman on this list too, so we're doing the biggest Marvel character versus the biggest DC character. Let's be honest. Spider-Man has been consistently good with Tobey Maguire and Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
And then they had these 2 other actors named Andrew Garfield
Yeah.
and Tom Holland that I could forget in an instant
Sure.
due to
Yeah.
quality. I don't think I'll ever remember those films as much as I do the Raimi films or
Yeah, they're not
Spider-Verse.
terrible. They're just mid, a whole lot of mid in my
Mhm.
opinion.
I'll stand by Amazing Spider-Man 2 is just bad.
Okay,
That
yeah.
one's bad.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, the Tom Holland films, I don't think are poorly made films, but they are very
That's the Electro
boring.
one? See, I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
that
"You're a
one's
fraud, Spider-Man!"
yeah, that one's bad.
Oh, they had, like, 5 different villains in that. Yeah, no. No, 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 no.
But Spider-Man as a whole, a few classics.
Mhm. Of course. I think you know what? I'll stand by this. Spider-Man 3 is Kino. I don't give a fuck.
I agree.
Everyone out here hated on that so much that they turned him into Andrew Garfield. I was like, "I don't fucking care."
It is Kino. I
Yeah.
gotta say I gotta say A, right?
A, because of just how big it is, and despite the Andrew Garfield films being dog shit, they made so much money and the impression still had consistency.
Yeah,
So much so that Sony thought that they could make their own cinematic universe without Spider-Man, but use Spider-Man characters.
right.
Wow.
And
That
just
didn't work.
and also like the impact on superhero films that this first Sam Raimi film had.
Yes.
It literally kind of like cut out the genre.
More impactful than X-Men or Blade, to be
Right.
honest with you. That was
And like the new ones or not, we were the first generation to grow up with these Spider-Man movies coming out all the time.
yeah.
And there's kids now that are still getting that experience
Mhm.
watching Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. I
So
agree.
it's
I would put it above Shrek, to be honest with you. I think it's
yeah,
more iconic than
I
Shrek.
agree.
Fucking move. There you go. Raiders. Oh, so you're doing Indiana
Indie.
Jones. Oh, I love Indiana Jones, man.
Indies, yeah.
Especially because I only think of it as a trilogy.
But
There's a.
it's not.
It's not. There's 2
Dial of
others.
Diarrhea.
Dial of
You
That's
got
awesome.
you gotta factor that in.
Kingdom of the Crystal Shit.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Indiana Jones, I've always loved. I feel like the trilogy, the first 3 at least, are
It's a
really
it's a
iconic.
classic trilogy.
It's like Star Wars. It
Yeah.
really is the Star Wars OG, which is why anything after their trilogies comes the fan divisiveness.
Mhm.
I've seen people lukewarm over Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I think the first half of that movie's fine,
Mhm.
and then the second half becomes CGI dog shit that I do not fuck with at all.
So let's call it 3.5 out of 5 of the
Yeah.
movies are good.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Not a bad ratio.
That's not a bad percentage. So I think it's gotta go oh.
Here's the thing though, I kind of see people appealing more to Spider-Man stuff because remember Dial of Destiny? People are
Mhm.
like, "Oh yeah, it's so expensive, but it's because people know Indiana Jones and it bombed."
Exactly.
And that was kind of the reality check of people like, how many people really know Indy?
Right. It's a reflection of the strength of the IP right now,
Yeah,
which Spider-Man is still going very strong.
yeah, and whenever I think Indiana Jones, I don't think of I think of Spielberg. Like that's
Yeah,
Spielberg's trilogy. It's like Robert Zemeckis with Back to the Future. Like that's
right.
his fucking baby. So when Spielberg left, it just didn't feel right.
You're right.
I would put it
In
low
be
A, high B. Where do you think it stands?
yeah. I think kind of in between Shrek though, no? Because the trilogy
Oh yeah, no, sorry,
in
it's better
between
than
Sh
Shrek.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
better
yeah.
than Shrek.
I think it's in between. Then I don't think it's as iconic as Spider-Man, especially because Spider-Man still has that iconic leverage
Mhm.
with it.
Sure.
Yeah. Why'd you pick the Okay, we're doing Planet of the Apes, but Nathan decided to put the Marky Mark poster as the
A little bit a
example.
little bit of a troll.
A little bit of a troll. You picked the worst fucking Planet of the Apes
Literally
film
the worst.
as a representation of the whole franchise. If this was my personal pick, I'd put S. But here's the thing. I don't think the original franchise is as iconic as
Yeah,
it's more the Andy Serkis era that people
right.
remember, which I'll be honest, yeah.
Was the original franchise important for its time?
The first one was, I love the other installments, but they definitely pumped those out every year.
Yeah,
It was not Star Trek, it was not Star Wars, it didn't have that iconic, franchise sci-fi feel.
you're right.
So, I'm glad that it got revived though, I really do because, like, after the Tim Burton one, it seemed like they weren't gonna make any more.
I know.
So, the Andy Serkis ones, I honestly believe that the original franchise and the Andy Serkis films, in terms of bringing them together and their iconicness, in my opinion, would at least be with an A.
Yeah.
Do you think lower? I would say it's
I don't know, there's an argument for S, bro.
I for me, I wanna put it S, but
The future is bright.
yeah.
We have a classic, trilogy.
Mhm. I wanna put it S. Would you be fine with me putting it in S?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
I think so. It
Because
is one of my favorite franchises.
I
The
the
fans get fed, man.
The only one I hate is the Tim Burton one.
Yeah,
The other ones I enjoy, like, some
right.
I enjoy more than others, obviously, but overall, I have a much better experience with it. So, yeah, Planet of the Apes. Alright, now we have your little franchise called Fast and Furious.
Fast and Furious, I die on the cross of loving the first 3 movies, but after that, the cross becomes too heavy to bear,
Nope. Yep.
and I refuse to bear it, okay? I like 5 as a fun action movie kinda, 4 is kinda dog,
Yeah.
and the rest just is almost unwatchable.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it's C tier.
C tier, where in C? Let's see, where d
It's at the end.
it's at
At the end.
ooh.
It's at the end, man.
And this is you saying that, man.
And I have one of these in my letterbox for favorites,
Yeah.
but it's just we're talking franchises here, and their free throw percentage is not very good.
There's a lot of people who have Jaws on their top 4. That don't mean that they like the fucking franchise, you
That's
know?
exactly,
So,
exactly.
that's totally fair. We're going for another juggernaut right now. It's Batman. We're talking about all the Batman films.
The fans of Batman get fed.
I think they get, fed better than Spider-Man.
I think they get fed by better than anyone.
In terms of superhero films, that they're the top.
It's S. I
Yeah.
think it has to be S for Batman. The amount of quality we've gotten, and still hopefully going to get. I don't know. Batman 2 is.
Well,
I don't
exactly.
even like to read these headlines about
Don't
Batman
even read
2,
them because 'cause you'll be like, I'll be 35 when part 2 comes out."
but if it comes out.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
anyway, Batman fans are spoiled as hell. I've said this before.
Yeah.
They get fed.
Exactly. I fully agree. You get the gothic style of Tim Burton. You get the dark grittiness of Christopher Nolan, and Robert Pattinson kind of blends both of them together.
Yeah,
And even if you're not a fan of the other Batman films, they're very stylistic.
very.
We talked about Batman Forever, so I agree in that regard. So yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And then if you even want to factor in animated, like Mask of
Oh
the
my
Phantasm,
god,
we didn't even
dude.
touch on that. It
We
was like
didn't. It's great. I love that movie. It's definitely up there too. So like animated video game. Fuck, they really got everything, huh?
it's everything. It's everything. It has to be S. I don't see anything on this list getting higher, to be quite honest.
Fair enough. Next one is Kung Fu Panda. I'm glad you put this one on
Yeah.
because the fourth one and the third one, mainly the fourth one, I don't
Yeah.
like. But the third one I feel like is okay, and then the first two are like really good.
Yeah.
So,
I think this is our first B candidate.
yep, I
Yeah.
think it's B. I honestly do because I'm looking at it now and it's like overall, it's not as iconic as Shrek.
No,
It has the issue of Shrek being the first two are good,
for sure.
but they don't got no spin-offs that are as good as Puss in Boots too. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah. That's another thing too, is like you look at the DreamWorks franchises and you look at Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, like Madagascar as well, How to Train Your Dragon. I feel like Shrek is just too iconic. Shrek is their Mickey Mouse for DreamWorks, you
Yeah.
know?
And Shrek had the characters that were capable of spin-offs.
Yeah, that too.
Kung Fu Panda, like,
No.
I'm not sure if you want any of the Furious 5 spin-offs. Like, I'm good on
No.
that.
That's like a TV show on Nickelodeon type
Right.
of thing. That's not
A film.
feature
Yeah.
film. Next one is Harry Potter. To me, this is in terms of book adaptations, probably. Oh fuck! I was gonna say most iconic. I'm gonna say second most iconic because I'm seeing the list right now, and second most iconic. A or S. Look, I know Fantastic Beasts films are kind of dog shit,
Yeah.
but even with that in mind,
Yeah,
you got
it's
8 of these.
it's gotta be high A.
High A, I agree.
And that's for me personally. Like, Like, I think they all have, like, a similar level of quality, which is good in
Yeah.
the franchise, but it's just the highs of this franchise don't necessarily do it for me as much as the highs of some of these other ones, like
Mhm.
Batman, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, to me, those highs are higher.
But the world building of Harry Potter always gave me, like, the fantasy equivalent of Star Wars, where it's like, man, they really build this world up. Philosopher's Stone really
Really
does
well
that.
done.
Phil
Really well done.
Yeah, like, the first 2 are great as, like, little kids movies and stuff, and then once you get to Prisoner of Azkaban, it's like, "No, we ain't fucking around, man, alright?
Yeah.
We got Alfonso Cuarón directing this, alright? Your kids are gonna be scared now."
Yeah. That's true.
And, we got a new Dumbledore too, and he's gonna scare you too because
Yeah.
shit's about to get real. So, yeah, I always have a soft spot for the Harry Potter films, so, A tier seems respectable. Bad Boys, man, turn of events, man. You know what, Nathan? Before you were on this podcast, I looked at the Bad Boys films as like, the first 2, but, I've grown to appreciate them more, the more
They've
we've talked about
they've
them.
worked to grow your trust
Yeah, yeah,
by
even
defying our expectations 2 times in a row.
yeah, yeah, probably the most unexpected, quality jump out of all of this on the list, in
Yeah.
my opinion,
Yeah.
because I don't think there is a bad one.
No.
The irony of
Yeah.
Bad Boys not having a bad installment.
Not one.
So, with that being said, do you think it's as iconic as these other films in the list, even in Will Smith's category? Because he has Men in Black. Those are his 2 franchises, Bad Boys and Men in Black, you know?
I think Bad Boys is more iconic,
More iconic? Okay.
personally.
I think Men in Black, like, as a franchise, no. Quality-wise, I don't think they reach the heights of Bad Boys. I
Yeah.
just think the first installment of Men in Black is, like, better.
Yeah, it's a cooler premise
It's
and
cooler
stuff.
premise, but
Yeah.
Bad Boys kept this running for so long, and it hasn't really been boring.
And it's some of the best chemistry you see on screen with this kind
Yeah,
of movie, right?
I agree. So, I would put B? High
Yeah,
B?
high B, I think over Kung Fu Panda,
Yeah.
but just more
Bro, I
better
thought we'd
entries.
argue more personally, but I really do
I
agree
know, we're
with this
kinda
list.
locked in right now. This list
Yeah.
is I'm pretty happy with the way this has gone so far.
Mhm.
Next, we got Scream, another franchise that brings quality.
Yeah. Can I say something, Nathan?
Yeah.
We're gonna do a Halloween episode on Scream.
Yeah,
I
this
feel
that's
like
gonna be our Scream episode, our Halloween episode.
Halloween episode, we're
We're
gonna
gonna
do
do the franchise.
and the reason why is because it has been a long fucking time since I've seen the Scream movies. I've
Fair
seen
enough.
Scream 1 and 2
Cool.
when I was, 9, 10 years old.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't remember too much for it. I was more like, "Oh, I get to see a."
Okay, I've seen most of them pretty recently, and, they always bring quality, man. They
Mhm.
really do. Like, even the new stuff, they're they're fun.
Okay.
They all like, there's none of them are terrible,
None of them are terrible. Okay, good.
which with these,
Horror.
horror franchises, slasher franchises to be specific,
Mhm.
you can't say that about pretty much any other one.
Yeah.
The Halloween franchise is
Oy,
dog.
oy,
Friday the
yeah.
13th, dog. Nightmare on Elm
Yeah.
Street, dog, right?
Fuck, yeah, yeah.
Scream has the most quality by far, by far. So,
Iconic, yeah.
yeah.
And it's also cool that Wes Craven directed it. He's the one
Yeah.
that created Scream, and despite him passing away in 2015, the franchise has still kept going.
Yeah.
I think it's because of just the younger kids' appeal of, like, knowing horror
Yeah.
films. It really has been that. They even made a show, which I don't know if that's good,
I'm not sure about
but
that, but yeah. A lot of the cast comes back for it all the time. It's
that's
just like
nice.
it's a fun time, Scream. I gotta say, Scream,
Where do you think you're gonna put it?
oh man.
It's better than Saw. It seems it's you're acting
Yeah.
like it's better than Saw, but is it like higher B, higher A? What are we talking about here?
I just the number of good entries
Mhm.
makes me want to put it ahead of Bad Boys, to be quite honest.
So high B.
Yeah, high
Okay.
B.
I can see that.
Yeah, high B, and we can revisit this
Yeah.
in our Halloween episode. You can let me
How
know
many
if
are
you
there?
agree.
6?
I think there's six.
I
Yeah,
could do
next
6.
one is
I could
yeah.
do 6. Okay. I can't do like fucking Child's Play Chucky shit. All
No.
right. That'll be when
Next we got
yeah.
what
Hunger
is
Games.
it like this? What do you remember the Hunger
Oh, I
Games
thought
thing?
you were gonna do the Spock thing where
No,
it's like,
no.
oh, we're gonna talk about Hunger Games.
No.
Oh fuck, that's Spock. No, I think it is
It
the
is like yeah, whatever.
Bluebird, whatever. Hunger Games. Funny story. I was talking to my sister about this franchise because she's been reading the prequel books because she wants to
Oh,
watch the
cool.
prequel movies.
Yeah.
And I was just like, really quickly, I was like, yeah, Hunger Games, yeah, it's kind of boring and stuff. And she's like, what? What do you mean boring? And I was like, what? It's like, it's one of the most iconic like book to movie franchises ever. I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, which ones have you seen? I was like, I remember the first one. I don't think I've seen the others. And it's like, you've never seen Catching Fire and
Catching
stuff?
Fire's kinda bro, they're kinda good, bro.
Look, you're not the only one. My sister
Yeah.
scolded me over
Yeah.
this franchise, and I apologize, viewers, because apparently the prequel movie as well was really good too.
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure about one of the best book to movie franchises. I don't know about that, but
in terms of teen, like,
that genre,
yeah,
yes,
I think
for
that's
sure.
more what she was. So because we were talking about those adaptations, like Harry Potter,
Right.
like
The Twilights
Divergent,
and
Twilight.
Divergence,
Yeah,
Percy Jackson's.
this is like for her, like the top.
Yeah, kind of. I guess I could agree with that. I think I want to put Hunger Games. Holy shit, this is getting hard
It's
now.
getting hard, dude. If you put this over Harry Potter, man, I don't know.
No, 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 no,
Okay,
no. I'm
okay,
thinking behind Shrek in A tier.
okay. Still in A tier. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, there's quality in
I
there,
gotta
man.
refresh my head a bit
Mhm.
because it's been a hot minute.
Maybe
But
when the next prequel comes out, we could do like a whole
yeah,
episode before it and then review it.
how many are in the Hunger Games movies?
Man, I forget now.
If it's more than
Is
six,
it
I'm
four?
gonna try my
I think
best.
it's like 4 or 5.
4 or 5? Okay, I
Yeah.
could do that. I could do that. Mission Impossible. I know you love this franchise. If you put this below B, I am going to flip this fucking table, Nathan.
It's not for me. I'm gonna be completely honest, but I understand. It's still going. Tom Cruise is still jumping out of planes and doing dumb shit, and I like that.
It's
Okay,
great.
I like that.
Vin Rames, he's so good in
But
all of
how
them.
many iconic entries are there of Mission Impossible?
Well, let's think about it. Let's think about it. The first one has so many iconic scenes in it.
Yes.
Even the shittiest one, in my opinion, Mission Impossible 2, has so many cool moments of
Yeah.
Tom Cruise jumping off a fucking motorcycle and
Yeah,
shit. And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
each installment has something iconic.
Sure.
Some more than others. Some are more underrated than others. But overall, I feel like the energy has been there since 1996, just like Bad Boys has been there since 1996. I would say high B or low A. You got to give me one or the other, man.
Hear me out.
Fuck it. Okay.
Between Bad Boys and Kung Fu Panda, this is my offer.
Don't put it in between Bad Boys and Kung Fu Panda. Are you fucking serious?
You think ahead of Scream?
I think it's better than Bad Boys. I think Mission Impossible is better than Bad Boys. I love Bad Boys, dude, but you can't do that to my boy Tom Cruise.
All right. This is where we compromise.
This-
I'll put him between Scream and Bad Boys.
I like. I have to. This is my compromise too, because I was gonna put it high B, but if we're gonna do that,
I'm telling you, that's where. It
fuck,
belongs.
man.
That's a
Oh.
generous one. Let me know in the comments who's got this right.
Trade dispute. Trade dispute.
next.
Lord of the Rings S tier.
Yeah, it's S.
Even with the shitty Hobbit prequels, man, it's still Christian's ringtone proved me right. Lord of the Rings, man, is fucking Kino. It's fucking Kino. I would say it's more.
Whoa there. Whoa there.
Let me put it back here.
Whoa there, big fella. Hold your horses
When was the last time
there,
you watched?
partner.
Hold your horses. What's going on here, sonny boy? Where are you moving that? You're not moving it too far up, SRU. Do you enjoy Batman more than Lord of the Rings? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm telling you.
In
but
terms of fantasy, though, it is the best you're ever gonna get, fantasy wise, Lord of the Rings. And I'm sorry, but the first 3 Lord of the Rings are better than a lot of the Batman films. I can't say all of them. But I'll say a lot of them. Fuck. It's like, how can you top it though? Like, I do believe it's better than Planet of the Apes. I do think.
Yeah,
we agree on
We're in
that.
agreement.
But you notice I was moving it closer to above Batman.
Yeah,
Again.
hold your horses there.
Hold your
I
horses.
think right next to Batman is where she belongs.
Give me a fucking explanation then, real quick. Give me the fucking explanation of the century of why you think Batman is better than Lord of the Rings.
Oh, it's tough. It's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
classic movies. What's the number
What's the number in terms
of like classics in your eyes? Like Lord of the Rings classics.
Oh, like
Because not all of it's good. Like some of the Hobbits, maybe I don't.
okay,
think you think are
3
gonna be classic.
3 are shit and then the 3 Lord of the Rings are good. That's how I stand by it.
Okay.
That's a 50.
Okay. Batman's
Batman's got
3 to compete. 3 for 3? No. Dark Knight.
You know, you know what? Fine. Despite the fact that Batman and fucking Robin is on the Batman list, Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, you might be right. The
Tell you
lows,
what,
the lows are lower.
fucking hell, fucking. We can't. Can we look at the other two franchises?
Yeah,
Okay, Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm thinking ever since At World's End. So the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, if it was just that, I put A. I would.
yeah,
But because they made shit after shit, I'm thinking low B.
yeah. That's where I like it too. Yeah, right
Low
there,
B.
right there.
Dude, I'm sorry, Johnny Depp, you're too drunk, man.
You're
You
too
got to
drunk,
sober up
bro.
for the next one. I don't care. And Star Wars, I'd put S. I put it above Batman.
Holy fuck!
It is more iconic than Batman. Star Wars
It's
is.
more iconic.
And you know what? Quality wise, like I know Disney and stuff, but I don't fucking care, man. It's Star Wars. S for Star Wars.
As
Number
for
one.
Star Wars, man.
And this is where we get to fight a little bit longer with Lord of the Rings. Now that we
But you
see
also
this,
said Lord of the Rings is peak fantasy,
it's peak fantasy.
so it's ahead of Star Wars. Is what you're saying.
This is where I get to tell Nathan that Lord of the Rings is the best franchise of everything in this list. Look, if Rocky was on this list, man, I would be killing you because I would put that as the absolute highest with pure nostalgia.
Right.
This to me is not pure nostalgia. This to me is just right.
Okay.
Do you believe it? Do you believe it?
I understand your
Or
case for it is
or
very strong.
or are we gonna have to compromise and put it in between one of these other fucking movies, franchises?
Personally,
Don't do this to
I like it between Star Wars and Batman.
me. Okay. You know what? Deal has been settled. I am fine with that.
Did we get this right?
There we go. This is our deal.
Guys, let us know. Let us know if I'm tripping. Star Wars, it's iconic, man.
Yeah.
It's iconic.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Somehow Palpatine returned, but you know what?
Oh, yeah.
But despite that line, though, despite the line, like it's the video games, it's the comics, it's the
Shows.
iconicness.
Yeah.
Because deep down, Rise of Skywalker is the worst fucking thing imaginable. But guess what? People are still gonna walk into the theater to see another one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Lord of the Rings, man.
It's a different kind of power.
We negotiated that. This is our negotiation. No, the deal's been settled, Nathan. It's too late.
Overall, I'm not too mad. Overall, I'm not too mad about how this went. I thought it could have went worse, and I like this franchise list. You guys let us know in the comments where we got it wrong, where we got it right. Thank you for watching this episode of the Real Talk Podcast. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe to your boys. It means the world to us, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Brush your hair.
Peace.